Okay, so let's dive in. You brought us something a bit different today, lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. The song's called Meant to Find You. It's described as a pop folk fusion ballad.
Right. So instead of articles, we're digging into these verses.
Mm-hmm. The mission, I guess, is to unpack the story here, see what it tells us about connection, about searching.
And that whole idea of fate versus, making things happen yourself. What does this song really add to that conversation?
Well, what I find interesting is how it uses very specific, concrete images to talk about these big, abstract ideas: destiny, connection.
It starts right off with that cinematic feel, doesn't it? Snow falls, neon glows, classic city vibe.
Definitely. And then, boom, the key moment. Bloomingdale's.
You reach for gloves, I touched your hand. Simple contact.
But the lyrics immediately give it weight. Felt like fate on a Friday night. It's not just observation, it's interpretation from the get-go.
Yeah, they assign meaning instantly. And that carries right into how they decide to connect, or not connect conventionally speaking,
Right. No easy phone number swap. It's let's leave it to the stars.
which sounds romantic, but also maybe a bit crazy.
Ugh.
Unless,
Unless those specific things they do use become important. Writing a name in a secondhand memoir.
and dropping digits on a dollar bill.
Yeah.
Why those items, though? Seems kind of random.
Well, maybe not. Using a used book, a dollar, these are everyday things, tangible.
Okay.
By putting the promise of connection onto them, the song sort of elevates them. It suggests fate might work through the mundane, like leaving little breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs you have to actively look for, which seems to be the core tension, especially in that chorus.
Exactly. Orbit in, never collide in. That phrase really hits.
Yeah, and dancing with time, but never aligning. It paints such a clear picture of near misses.
You feel the frustration. They're connected somehow, in theory, but they just keep missing each other.
But right after expressing that frustration, there's this defiance, isn't there? Baby, fate don't fade away.
Yes. And that's key. Fate isn't presented as just passive waiting. The lyrics say, I'm in searching, signs all around.
Ah, so linking the search back to those objects, the books and bills on this battleground, it's like acknowledging destiny's game.
While still actively playing it, still searching, it's not one or the other.
It's a mix, belief and action.
Precisely. And it's not a quick fix. The second verse jumps ahead. Years go by. This connection, or the lack of connection, lingers.
And it lingers deeply. Lines like, I wear a dress, but my heart's misled, or even walking down the aisle thinking it don't feel true.
Still missing you.
Yeah.
It shows the sheer power of that one initial moment, how it echoes years later, influencing huge life choices.
Which makes the continued search even more poignant.
Yeah, and the language used chasing echoes, following ghosts vanishing like a subway train. It sounds tough. Maybe lonely.
Definitely elusive, like trying to catch smoke.
But the belief holds. Love don't go in vain. That seems to be the anchor.
You'd need a strong anchor after someone vanishes like a subway train.
Right, and then the bridge kind of brings back that initial spark, that memory.
Snowflakes fallen in rewind.
Hmm.
Almost like watching a film back. One glance, the world stood still.
It reinforces how significant that first encounter was. Memory here isn't just looking back. It feels like fuel for the search, maybe the catalyst for the final push.
Okay, so we have fate, we have searching, we have memory.
Hmm.
How does it all finally, click? The outro seems crucial.
It ties everything back beautifully. It mentions the book in hand, the dollar found.
The original clues.
Exactly. Those objects become the keys. They lead to love uncaged. It suggests the connection was always there, just
Yeah.
waiting to be unlocked by finding those pieces again.
And that last line, if fate's a game, then we just won. Look how far we've come. It implies they did reunite.
Yeah, it feels like a resolution. Fate wasn't just a script they followed. It was more like a puzzle they solved by finding the clues, the book, the dollar, the memory, each other. They won the game.
So, thinking about this for you, the listener, what does this narrative make us consider about our own lives?
Well, it challenges how we view those chance encounters, doesn't it? Do we just brush them off? Or do we sometimes look for a little significance?
And what about objects? Do we have things tucked away, ticket stubs, notes, whatever, that hold a similar kind of symbolic weight for us?
It makes you think about that balance. Are you waiting for fate to deliver, or are you part of the process searching for what feels meant to be?
It's a compelling story about belief, definitely, but also about persistence, and maybe about paying attention to the little things.
Exactly. So the final thought maybe is, How much do we think is pre-written and how much comes from our own searching, our own holding on to signs? What everyday things in your life might hold a story you haven't fully unpacked yet?